Sequatchie Cove Farm, our focus has always been to sell directly to families and restaurants local food that's been produced in a way that's really healthy for the community and for the environment. On this farm, which we call the home farm, we have just milking cows. Actually now we have sheep, but right now we're milking about 30 some odd cows. Next spring, cows will milk for 10 months and then we dry them off and they rest and recuperate for 2 months. And then they have a baby and the process starts again. And so we'll start having new babies in December. And so next spring we'll hopefully be milking about 50 cows. So we're slowly growing in number. And then we lease some other farms, some neighbor farms, and there we have a beef herd of 75 cows or so. So with our cattle, our focus is grazing and really having cows eat as much really nutritious grass as possible. And the way we do that is every single day, twice a day, we give our cows a fresh break of grass. And so that's kind of like every day you get a fresh salad twice a day. What that does is the grass is always at its peak nutrition. So the cows are always eating very nutritious grass. And then for the grass and for the ecosystem, what it does, it allows the grass to regrow and to store nutrients and to store carbon. And so it actually builds fertility because photosynthesis is part of it is taking carbon dioxide out of the air and storing it in the ground. And so when we call ourselves a sustainable farm, first what we mean is that we're actually building fertility. We're building an ecosystem that has resiliency to droughts, to floods, to whatever it is that the weather brings, and that will leave it better than we found it. And so that's how we view our ecosystem and the grass and the cows. We use really the cows as fertility tools to increase biodiversity. And then, of course, to have really good milk or really good meat, we have to have calm animals. And so we're around our cows every day, and we treat them in a way that we feel like they would live in nature. And so there's an organization, a third-party organization called Animal Welfare Approved, which we're certified by Animal Welfare Approved. And we use all natural methods, organic methods. We don't use herbicides or pesticides or any chemicals at all on the farm. We try to really work with nature with the belief that by working with nature, the farm, and working with the laws of nature, it'll just make farming easier and more profitable and be better for the environment and the community. So in every decision we make on the farm, we balance the economic decision with the community and the needs of the community and the water and the sun and just everything that involves, in a sense, life and our ecology, and making sure that that decision has a positive effect on all of those components.
There's a lot of reasons why Sequatchie Cove cheese is special. I guess really the first and foremost reason is that it's a farmstead cheese. A farmstead cheese is defined by the fact that we only use the milk that we produce here at the farm to make cheese, rather than buying milk produced off-site. So we're making milk and we're making cheese right here at the farm, and that inherently gives it a very unique quality that it really basically creates a cheese that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. And then the fact that we make all our cheeses by hand. We follow a lot of traditional cheese making practices. So that again, creates a really unique product that doesn't exist anywhere else. But the fact that the milk is produced out here on our pastures from our soil and our cows, in this particular place here in East Tennessee, it just makes sort of a one-of-a-kind, unique product.
We typically, once the milk is in the vat, heat the milk. We inoculate the milk with starter bacteria to begin the acidification process. And then we add a coagulant. We add rennet to coagulate the milk. It turns from milk into like a thick yogurt, like a gel, and then we cut that into small pieces. And now we have curds and whey. As we begin to stir the curds and heat the curds to a specific temperature, the curds begin to shrink and expel moisture. And once we get to the desired texture, we'll drain the whey off and place the curds into the forms and press them into the shape of the finished wheels. And typically they'll be reversed a few times throughout the afternoon in the press, and they'll continue to press through the night until tomorrow morning. We'll take them out of the press and into the aging room where they'll be salted and brushed for several months during maturation.
And then of course there's the energy that we use here at the creamery, and we have solar panels that definitely offset all the electricity that we use here in this building. We are connected to the electrical grid, so we still receive a power bill, but we also receive a statement of generation every month, and we're always making a little bit more power than we're using. And we feel really good about that, that we're actually contributing energetically to the greater system here in the Sequatchie Valley. Making cheese is very energy intensive, both with electricity, hot water. There's a lot of aspects, to it that we're using on a daily basis, so we want to be able to offset that as much as possible.
We welcome families to come visit the farm. Anyone who wants to know where their food comes from and how it's grown, we encourage visitors to come and get to know where their food is grown.